Yeah, this is Paul. Yeah. I'm thinking about all the pigs out there, all that weight. I've seen some women that I thought, you know what, you really don't look overweight. Your front side's as big as your back side. As long as that's the way it is, it's okay with me. Pooch. But in my personal family, I had made arrangements for nutritionists to make sure that we have what we should be eating as a family. Yeah. Then there was a naturopath that had done a lot of study on naturopathic medicine, and I thought, well, I'd like you to buy all the groceries and make sure they're organic. I mean, just the finest foods. And as a father, you can understand how I would want my kid to eat the best food that any father could provide for his family. And it seemed to me that if you had a nutritionist that was always evaluating what should you be eating because of your diet, pooch. And then you had somebody that was doing the personal shopping that did know the difference between a good vegetable and a vegetable that's questionable. It might be that some in those in law enforcement haven't been able to afford their own personal nutritionist or personal shoppers. Now, these callers that I'm talking about, these are volunteers, and for 3 or 4 months of the year, they volunteer to be gluttons. They put a collar around their neck, and I put a leash in the hand of another woman. Now, every time you go to the office, you're going to be a glutton because they have to eat through each other and they have to eat their sex. Somebody's going to be eating a lot of pork ribs for 3 or 4 months. Ooh, the glutton of the nymphomaniac programming of those that just have to come to find out. But then you have the other side, total abstinence. You do not need to have any sexual experiences at all. As a bigger breasted woman that's overweight, you need to focus on your weight. So I get him one of these newly graduated nutritionists that has a perfect weight. They're not more than 10% body weight. Poo poo, because all they're concerned about is the amount of fat on their bodies. Now you get a collar for 3 months where you're a glutton. All you do is eat your sex. You just keep eating your sex. Every day you eat your sex and you're eating so much pork. You're just an obese nymphomaniac that has an insatiable sexual desire, but every time you have an orgasm, you've got to eat a meal. But then you're overweight. You try to lose some weight, well, that's going to affect your sexuality. You're complete abstinence. You got a collar around your neck, and you're going to lose 30, 40 pounds, and I'm going to get you a nutritionist. And we're going to put you on an exercise regime, and you're going to lose that fat. Now, you have the one programming where insatiable sexual appetite. Seems like the appetites of the mind are closely related to the sexuality of the individual. You could eat all your sex, and then you could have all that pleasure, or you could completely deny yourself and lose all that weight. Now, there are some women that have been called fat. They just can't seem to lose the weight. But they're always eating through each other, and some of them do have some very healthy sex lives. But every time they satisfy that sexual desire, they have this compulsion to have to eat. Now, in the past, maybe 20, 30 years ago, before programming the population, it wouldn't have been uncommon to have a snack after having a sexual relationship. But as so often happens when you have to go through half the population because you screwed everybody, it ends up that all the pigs have to control the sex of the nation. Now, I'm going to need some older women, very large-breasted, that think that they're overweight, and they probably are. I'm going to ask them to gain a whole bunch of pounds for 3 or 4 months when they cannot stop eating. But on the other side, I'm going to get them nutritionists, someone that just graduated in the last 4 or 5 years to be their personal shopper. And they're going to have to lose a whole lot of weight, but they're not going to have any sex. Seems like somebody has programmed a appetite compulsion into the bodies of the American population. Isn't that right, lizard? Isn't that right, fish?